Hello all. A very good day to all of you. This is Vilasini from Veranda IAS and friends. இன்னைக்கு என்ன பார்க்க போறோம்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா the daily editorial analysis for the date 5th September 2025. So in the context, the topic of discussion for today is a topic from your IR, International Relations. என்ன டாபிக்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா Trump's tariff war as opportunity for the global south. Trump's tariff war as opportunity for the global south. So in the context, we will try understanding few things, right? For example, why are the tariffs coming into play? And in the tariffs, how can developing countries both negatively get affected as well as benefit? India's position enna? In the tariffs, how should India act according to the situation? So, இவ்வளோ இயர்ஸாக பில்ட் பண்ணியிருக்க ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் இஸ் கெட்டிங் எஃபெக்டட். ஸோ எஸ், ஒரு மல்டிபோலார் வேர்ல்டில் how should India navigate and look out for its own self-interest, right? What should be the ideal way forward? இப்போ இருக்கிற problems with regard to the way in which நம்ம country we engage with US, என்னென்ன problems இருக்கு, right? என்ன challenges இருக்கு? What are some places where we can benefit? And how do we navigate this forward? இதுதான் பாத்தீங்கன்னா scope of the editorial discussion. So in the context, yes, there are few things that we need to understand. Yes. So number one, so in the context, if we talk about it, many things have been highlighted. First, Trump oda idea of making America great again. So in the context, yes, we all know when Trump came to power, அவரோட மோட்டோவே to make America great again, and he said that இங்க he will ensure that the unfavorable advantage US is having with regard to trade, with regard to services, with regard to many other areas is addressed. So this is one. So in the context of what was Trump's motive, right? And inga with regard to his sanctions on many countries. So for example, 30 plus nations மேல sanctions heavily இருக்கு. அது பத்தி இவங்க டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. Next one, if you see, for example, they've spoken also about how this will overall affect several other countries and their relationship with US. Next பாத்தீங்கன்னா with regard to how the tariffs பாத்தீங்கன்னா is used as a weaponization tool, right? And இது how it is affecting relationships across multiple countries, right? Here the author also talks about Western double standards. Okay, next one பாத்தீங்கன்னா what should India do? So இவ்ளோ வருஷமா இந்தியா யூஎஸ்க்கு இருக்கிற ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் is now getting a little bit affected in the tariffs imposed ஆறதுனால. So in the context, how should India make the best out of it, right? And here, how should we navigate way forward, right? And in the context, considering the fact that we plan on becoming Vikshit Bharat, we plan on becoming a very large economy, GDP growth rate better இருக்கு. How do we look out for ourselves? How do we navigate this? இதுதான் பாத்தீங்கன்னா major scope of the discussion of this particular editorial. So உங்க எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும், every time we start with an editorial discussion, right, we look at what is called as code approach. CODE, code approach. So C பாத்தீங்கன்னா is called as context. Okay. O பாத்தீங்கன்னா is called as opinion. D பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is regarded as data. And E பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is called as editorial takeaways. Okay, so you have context, you have opinion, you have data, and you have editorial takeaways. So in the context, நிறைய editorial takeaways பாத்தீங்கன்னா it varies. Mostly advantages, disadvantages, positive, negatives, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு editorialக்கு மாறும். And here பாத்தீங்கன்னா we'll primarily be talking about what is called as ICES approach, where I பாத்தீங்கன்னா it will stand for your issues, C பாத்தீங்கன்னா it will stand for your causes, E பாத்தீங்கன்னா it will stand for effects, and S பாத்தீங்கன்னா it will stand for solution, suggestions, etc. Okay, so code இருக்கு, ICES இருக்கு. So now in the context, let us understand few things. So number one, so Trump, right? So Trump what has been his motivation so far? So yes, நிறைய பேர் என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா US has always felt, right, that it has been in an unfavorable position with regard to trade, especially with many countries. So way back பாத்தீங்கன்னா Trump had threatened that he would impose retaliatory tariffs at the rate of 26%. 26% retaliatory tariffs இவர் impose பண்ணுவேன்னு இவர் சொல்லியிருக்காரு. So இது வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா over a point of time, right, what happened was in the context of India இவர் என்ன சொன்னாருன்னா initially it was 25 and later the 25 has been made 50 because of us getting crude oil from Russia, S-400 defense system from Russia. இதுதான் changes. ஸோ இந்த கான்டெக்ட்ல என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காங்கன்னா இங்க வந்து யூஎஸ் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஹியர் தி பெனிஃபிட்ஸ் ஆஃப் குளோபலைசேஷன் ஆர் நாட் ரீச்சிங். இமிகிரேஷன் ஆர் இன்மைக்ரன்ஸ் நிறைய பேர் உள்ள வந்துட்டாங்க, இவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஜாப் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ் கிடைக்குது. பட் இருக்கிற நேட்டிவ் அமெரிக்கன்ஸ்க்கு வந்து right, the opportunities in terms of job or getting benefited வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா is becoming less. Here one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய other issues, inequality-ஆ இருக்கலாம், environmental concerns-ஆ இருக்கலாம், all this is there. So here வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா Trump wants to address this part, right? So he has his own agenda and motive. And yes, we all know Trump வந்து அவர் வரும்போதே he spoke about this, make America great again. But here வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is not just about make America great again, but it's also about navigating this issue in a very diligent way. So next one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா இவர் வந்து என்ன policies கொண்டு வந்தாரு. Number one, we know he imposed severe sanctions on multiple countries, right? So here வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 30 plus nations மேல tariffs போட்டிருக்காரு for almost 70 different kind of goods. And yes, நிறைய organizations வந்து they have been pulling out, they have been stopping foreign aid. For example, Trump has withdrawn from the Paris Agreement. So here வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is quite upsetting because US is one of the major polluters as well. உலகத்துல பாத்தீங்கன்னா polluting countries பார்க்கும்போது US is also there. So now a person like US, I mean Trump, like coming out of the Paris Agreement, it tells that climate change in ஒரு விஷயத்தை வந்து they are not acknowledging much. And we all know எந்த country அதிகமா pollute பண்ணுதோ அந்த country is not most affected, but the country which pollutes the least is the most affected. For example, நீங்க ரீசெண்டா கூட பார்த்திருப்பீங்க நிறைய island nations are sinking. So here this is one ramification which is there. So now when a country like US நிறைய trade box இந்த foreign aid cut பண்றது இதெல்லாம் நடக்கும்போது it can have devastating consequences. And here on வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா migrant population value, his policies have been a bit harsh, right? So here although வந்து அவர் வந்து US Indian goods entering the US மேல is trying to impose tariffs, the brunt of this will actually be faced by the American consumer. And our goods will become more costly. So these are the implications of policies that Trump is talking about. Next one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா globally how is this going to affect? So in the context of India, number one பாத்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய sectors, right, நம்மளோட major exports ஓட export competitiveness கம்மி ஆயிடும். For example, textiles-ஆ இருக்கலாம், jewelry-ஆ இருக்கலாம், auto parts-ஆ இருக்கலாம், எல்லாமே affect ஆகுது. Next one, it is also seen as a way of discriminatory practices and weaponization of trade policy. For example, யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, US is accusing India of getting crude oil from Russia when US itself is getting uranium from Russia. European Union continues to get certain crude oil from Russia. China gets crude oil from this place. So இதுல இருந்து நம்மளுக்கு என்ன தெரியுது? There are Western double standards, right? There are Western double standards. So this is not agreeable. So in the context of what should India learn out of this? So what we can understand is number one, we should not depend only on unilateral or bilateral relationships. ஒரு multipolar worldல we should learn to navigate it, especially ஒரு fragmented geopolitical order இருக்கும்போது we have to start practicing a multipolar relationship with many countries, right? That is one. Next one, okay, so in the context of we should not keep thinking that US is always a reliable partner because anytime anything can change. And yes, உங்க எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும் US has also expressed interest in Pakistan for oil exploration. And even President Trump வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா he had made a statement that one day it is possible that they would supply oil to India and India can buy from them. So இதெல்லாம் பார்க்கும்போது it shows how there has been an alteration of relationship which has taken so long to build. Next one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா it is important for us to understand few countries மட்டும் dependent-ஆ இருக்காம we have to diversify. New markets நம்ம explore பண்ண ஆரம்பிக்கணும். For example, act east, move towards the east, look at opportunities in the west, right? நம்ம diversify பண்ணணும் rather than depending on single point of contact of few countries alone. Next, in the context, if we talk about a current policy, என்னென்ன challenges இருக்குன்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, yes, so basically the current ruling party has been criticized on few grounds. For example, Like many a times many people have said that all of our foreign relationships that we have, diplomatic engagements, they are more headline focused, right? More personalized. And இந்த இடத்துல strategic grounding வந்து இல்லை அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. And next, for example, India still towards the US நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா கூட has not been very tangible enough. அவ்வளோ பெனிஃபிட்ஸ் நம்மளுக்கு இருந்திருக்கா, especially with the ongoing tariffs. So here, all of this வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா is somewhere creating a negative portrayal. But in this context, right, what are some opportunities that the global south has? So in the context, உங்க எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும், developed nations இருக்கு, developing countries இருக்கு. Developed nations are global north, developing countries are regarded as global south. So here, one thing we need to understand is Trump create பண்ற disruptions is a great chance, right, for India to also reshape its relationship with several other countries. For example, number one, இப்போ கூட நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா when the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting took place, right, it gave an opportunity for Russia, India, China trilateral meetings, right? Next one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா we are further engaging with other countries. For example, இனி கூட நீங்க யோசிச்சு பாத்தீங்கன்னா we have been interacting with Singapore. Next one வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா before Prime Minister Modi went to China to attend the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting, அவர் அதுக்கு முன்னாடி went to Japan. So also with other countries, for example, Philippines, நிறைய countries we are trying to diversify and we are trying to expand our relationship. South Asia வந்து we are trying to become a global power, right? And also in the recent SCO meeting வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா, right, Xi Jinping itself வந்து சொல்லியிருக்காரு that the dragon and the elephant have to work and collaborate together. So இதெல்லாம் என்ன சொல்லுது? That although the geopolitical order is fragmented, right, it is possible for us to operate our way out. So yes, despite tariffs கூட பாத்தீங்கன்னா the GDP growth rate is somewhere stable. Next என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா that yes, we are in our path to become a very large economy and also Vikshit Bharat இருக்கு, Atmanirbhar Bharat ஓட dream இருக்கு, right? So 2047 we are looking at that. Right time for us to reap the benefits of a demographic dividend. So இந்த மாதிரியான ஏகப்பட்ட opportunities இருக்கு. So in the context, yes, India வந்து இதை ஒரு learning-ஆ எடுத்துட்டு we have to look at how to improve, right? Be it trade disruptions, be it in terms of political empowerment, be it in terms of promoting effective leadership in South Asia, எல்லாமே we can make the best of it. Next one, நம்ம வந்து என்ன பண்ணணும்னா we have to diversify our markets. Multilateral trade, we have to attract investments, we have to export better services, manufacturing hub மாறணும். நிறைய developed and developing nations நடுவில் we need to be a bridge, right? Global governance propagate பண்ணணும். These are all some effective strategies that has been suggested in this particular editorial. So yes, overall இதுதான் scope of the discussion. இதை என்ன major takeaways வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா India-US relationship, how it is changing with time. Next one, இதை பத்தி யோசிச்சு பாருங்க. In a fragmented geopolitical order, right, how should India navigate its way forward? Okay, so think about this, right, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope the discussion was useful. All the very best.
Veranda IAS, where your dream becomes reality.